Listener, I'm gonna put a plug for the Patreon. I haven't done this in a while. We could not do this podcast on ads alone. The Patreon is the backbone of all we're doing here. It pays Alex. It pays Sydney. Okay? It offsets all of the clips that got you here. All of that stuff is free. This podcast is free. And you can donate as little as $1. $1 a month? Come on, guys. That's so much less than a cup of coffee a day. Give it a shot. And we're doing 4 bonus episodes a month, depending on your tier. And we stream my weekly stand-up show, Sunday School, and we leave it up for you to watch up to a week later. So go check that out, patreon.com/WHGS. And I'm going on tour. So get on the text list because it's a massive tour. We're going to be adding shows all the time as we sell out because we have been selling out. I sold out 4 theaters in Seattle. That's a lot. That's 800 queers packed into a room. Don't miss out. AshleyGavin.com. Get on the text list for your city. We've got a lot coming up. Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego, Sacramento, a bunch of shows in Texas. We got Boston coming up, Salt Lake City again, so many. And then today, great comedian. You've probably seen him going viral on TikTok. Zach Zimmerman. He's also a friend of mine. He just wrote a book. Is it hot in here? Or am I suffering for all eternity for the sins I committed on earth? Zach Zimmerman. Go check it out, or the audiobook. He gets into, it's such a great conversation because I think Zach, for a while, thought of himself as a cis gay man. And he's been grappling with his gender lately, and we get into how that coincides with his attraction for women again. It's very, very cool. It's a great episode. It's one of those episodes that'll really have you thinking. If you're looking for sex, I have a hot, steamy hookup with a therapist. So, I know you love those episodes where I'm flirting with therapists. All right, guys, you are the best. Thank you for listening to this long ramble. I really appreciate you so much. Hey, have a good week. Listener, are you hungry? Because this episode is brought to you by Green Chef. Green Chef is an incredible meal kit that I love using. I love all the recipes. It's so quick to make, and they turn out delicious, and I can't even cook. My favorite part about Green Chef is they offer tons of different dietary restrictions like that you're dealing with. They've got something for you, whether you're vegan, paleo, keto, vegetarian like I am. So head on over to greenchef.com/gay60 and use code gay60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. That's greenchef.com/gay60 and use code gay60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
I've been confiding in some gay men that I'm like attracted to women and trans women. I assumed everyone was like a little bi or pan or whatever, but like they're like, no, I only like other cis gay men. I love boobs so much. And I was always just like, oh, all gay men must like boobs. And I was like, no, it's just, yeah, I don't think I want breasts, but I appreciate them as objects.
Women.
Oh, wow. Cancel.
As a live show, I'd be like, what if Ashley and I kissed right now? I was like, this is so funny. And everyone was like,
since we're on air, Maddie, what live show are you talking about?
the live podcast that we do.
That's so
we did in Austin, and then we do at the Bell House.
Yes,
and they're
and
really
you can-
fucking fun. And they're
yeah,
not
and
even
you-
just the podcast. It's like a whole variety
You
show.
can watch them either on Moment or on our Patreon. The one from Austin is going on to the Patreon, so maybe go subscribe to the Patreon.
Maybe you can tell me if you think it's funny that I said, what if me and Ashley fucked as a bit? Because we're like two magnets.
No, they
that
wanted
are the
it.
opposite.
Those fucking freaks.
Oh, you think they were quiet because they
in
were
the
horny?
crowd, they were like, is it gonna happen? Yeah, exactly.
They didn't
Sorry,
think I was
Zach.
I
joking.
tried to get tickets to the show, but it was sold out. If only there was some way. I wish I could get like a text letting me know when you're in my town.
Yeah, a text letting you know that I'm in your town.
That
Or
would
like
help.
maybe you could watch it after the fact on a Patreon.
What? In the privacy of my own bathtub?
Yes.
I would watch this show.
Right in your bathtub. And wouldn't it be cool also maybe if a similar form of content from a queer creator were in book format? Wouldn't that be nuts?
I refuse.
Do it! Plug your book, Zach.
I wrote a book. It's called Is It Hot in Here or Am I Suffering for All Eternity for the Sins I Committed on Earth? A collection of humor pieces and essays that will bring you joy and tears.
You are queer and you are so funny, and I'm so glad you're here. It
Oh,
took
thank
way
you for
too
having
long.
me.
I apologize. Zach and I coordinated the most important moments of our entire life to be on the same day.
We gave birth on the same day to a very funny comedy special and then a
very
book.
a very funny book. And I'm so glad we finally made it happen. And hopefully your sales will just absolutely skyrocket.
And I hope we're
gays
both
love reading.
Are we sad now at the same time? Have you
No,
come
I'm
down?
actually feel better now.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Are you sad?
I think I took too much. I told you before. I think I'm Dayquil drunk, which I didn't know you could be. But I took like an extra shot of it, and I was like walking here and kind of misstepping.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're catching raw, unfiltered Zach.
Which is just I am Dayquil drunk.
Yeah.
And plugging your book. Well, thank you for being here. Maddie, you going to read the book?
I am going to read the book.
I should have brought you a copy.
Oh my God. I'm like very excited to read it. And I love the cover art too.
Well, they messed up a little bit. Not to put the publisher on blast. I sent some to like my most influential friends, and then they had put the like wrong name on some of them. So yours was probably maybe addressed to like
Ellen
Nicole
DeGeneres.
Byer or Ellen DeGeneres. Yeah.
I got Ellen's copy.
You may have gotten Ellen's. No.
And I
didn't
burned
send
it.
Ellen one.
And then I bought another copy.
So then I was like, please send these all out again. So you have two now. And you have to read both.
Oh,
Please.
I'm in the middle of a book and I find it really hard to switch books.
Oh, yes.
I don't because I'm not like a good reader. I have to read one thing at a time. But I am genuinely so excited to read it.
There's an audiobook too, and it's only like 3 hours.
Oh my God, I could listen to it on the
Yeah,
plane.
you could just listen to me
I'm gonna do that.
talking to your little ear.
And you have a beautiful voice.
Stop.
You
Keep
do.
going. Keep
You would be
going.
great for a road trip.
Ooh.
Like because
Would you,
people
like,
say
in
to
the car
me,
with you, like, hey, how you doing? Or I mean, you mean the audio?
that would actually be. I would love to
Be
do you
hired
think there's
as
a
a-
market for just a friend in the car.
I don't know if it's a market so much as like the human soul, but yeah. Hey, I had an idea for what if two people were hanging out. Do you think that could be a product? Do you think I could sell that?
That's this, but specifically like, that we should pull out on that.
I would
exit.
hire you, and I say this with love. You know, if you're ever driving overnight somewhere and you need to be kept awake,
I am the perfect
I
person
feel like
for
you
that.
would be the perfect co-pilot.
Oh, I
you
would
not let me
No,
fall
absolutely
asleep.
not. I'd be like, just a full 9 hours of fuck you, bitch. I feel like we need to get to know you a little bit because your background is part of what makes you so interesting and probably what makes the book so interesting. And I think people are going to really like a lot of our listeners grew up religious.
Sorry.
They live in, ass fuck wherever you're from.
I was going to say bumblefuck.
Bumblefuck, whatever.
Is it ass fuck? We're
Could be
allowed to
either.
say it, but that's like mean, isn't it? Ass fuck?
Bumblefuck is also mean.
Oh, what is
I
the
was gonna say,
bumble?
ass fuck doesn't sound like a hard place to come out as gay.
Welcome to ass fuck. You'll fit right in between these cheeks.
Where'd you grow up?
Roanoke, Virginia. It's
Yeah.
this little valley, made it hard to get out of. In Southern Virginia, with like a pastor as a dad.
Yeah.
And
Oh
so
my
a lot
God.
of pastor
One of my
kids.
first road gigs I ever did was in Roanoke, Virginia.
Wow.
Really?
And I had a bad time.
No,
I
can't
just
imagine.
I had a bad set. Yeah.
Oh.
They didn't like. So I understand the vibe a little bit.
It's a weird little town. I haven't been back in like a decade. I need to go back
Whoa.
as like a homecoming.
You haven't been back in a decade?
No, my family moved to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina my freshman
Oh.
year of college, so
Well, that
I had
makes
no
sense.
reason to go. I'm not going to visit my grandma.
No, that
I
would
should
be
probably
insane.
visit my grandmother. My mom recently got mad no one visited her on Mother's Day, and apparently she cried, and so we're all in the doghouse. We need to figure that out.
How many of you are there?
4. So I've got 2 sisters and 1 brother.
How gay are they?
Minimally gay. Younger brother divorced to a lady, remarried now to a lady. Older sister married as well. Second sister there could be maybe something
Am I
there.
on her For You page?
What?
Am I
Oh,
on
I
her-
should ask.
Yeah.
I
I'll
like
send
that you
this
were like
around.
minimally gay. He got divorced. Queering marriage by getting divorced.
Yes, that's the new. If you get straight divorce, that's a little gay, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Older sister owns a hair salon, which feels a little queer.
Okay.
Second sister, second grade teacher, and then younger
Queer.
brother, firefighter. It's not queer at all.
Maybe in a calendar.
Bow, bow, bow. And to anyone viewing at
Oh, yeah.
home, the sweat that I'm creating right now is due to the heat of the room, not my
It's so hot.
uncomfortability with
the
any
AC
of the
is broken
questions.
in here, and we're really sorry.
I'm a sweater, and so, but that just means my body's taking care of me.
Should we? Yes, it is, and it's sweating out all the toxins that you
Oh,
you know
no!
are eliminating through
Not
the Dayquil.
toxins. My
The
mom's
sweat is so good for you.
Is it?
I've been working out more and sweating feels so good. It does feel like it kind of gets the. Do you ever work out or go on a run and then you have a poop that's like, that was crusted on the walls and would have sat there for another 25 years if I had not shaken my body like a
What?
fucking blender.
Your body, 25
It just gets
years.
the juices going. You got to work out. It stirs stuff up.
Dear Heavenly Father, we
That's the
come
way
to you
I
now.
cry after Peloton. The thing that you're describing with the poop, that's the way I cry.
I cry enough already with the poops where I'm having no trouble.
Do you?
Are you a bad pooper?
It's just so different every
Maddie,
time.
Maddie, I'm a bad pooper, and I'm surprised we've never talked about this.
Okay, well, because if we're going to talk about poop, here is my big project.
We must.
This is not usually what we do.
No, I love it because I'm a perfect pooper. But go on.
Are you really? Okay,
Air,
well,
no, air your problems.
I would
I'm so
love to
sorry
compare
for that
notes
for you.
because I think it would be really funny, and if I ever work up the fucking balls to do this, I'll have like lived a good life. I think it'd be really funny to start a separate Instagram account where I just post a picture of my poop every day because they look so different.
Are you allowed
Some of them
to post
float.
poop?
I don't know. I'd love
Listener,
to find
write
out.
in.
Hey, a lot of people are.
That-
I mean, that's most of Instagram. People posting shit.
Yes.
Sorry.
But
Does this resonate
sincerely,
that poops are different all the time?
Mine
I
are the same
apologize.
every day. 20 seconds in and out. Sip of coffee.
what are you doing right?
I don't know. Fiber.
I'm chronically constipated.
I
Except-
maybe have eating disorder. So that might make it harder. I'm like, why does it fluctuate so much? And it's like, oh, because some days I'm binging and some days I'm like, I will eat 400 calories.
Oh, I haven't eaten in 48 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, I ate an entire box of those dippers from Trader Joe's.
Yeah, that might switch it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
Do you eat green things? Green things will help you.
I eat green things.
Oh, that's
Green
where I'm
too
going
brown,
wrong.
it's bad. Too much brown. Yeah, too much bread, too much.
No, I don't
brown
eat a lot of
stuff.
bread. Honestly, I probably don't eat enough. I accidentally intermittent fast. My thing is that don't
God,
fuck, no,
oh,
no,
you're
no.
one of those people.
No.
Oh, I forgot to eat lunch.
No tolerance for
I'm gonna
that.
make-
I forgot to eat
I'm gonna make-
lunch.
I'm gonna make
That's
you-
what. No, this is what makes me so mad. Every time I find out that somebody is like skinny, I'm like, "What's your secret?" And they're like, "Well, I just eat the legal bare minimum of food,
First of all,
and it doesn't even bother
I'm not
me."
skinny. I'm not skinny. If you were to grab my torso, you'd be like, okay. There's a
Yeah,
some
but you're
thickness
looking
there.
good. You got it cooking.
I'm doing okay.
What's that? The viewers are asking Maddie to grab your torso. They're begging you to slowly
bit.
grab.
God,
this bit
your
for the
stomach
rest
is
of
so-
time. I'm going to need you to do this bit for the
Ashley-
rest of the episode,
Done.
just from the producer.
Ashley, your
what's that?
stomach is so fucking weird.
Yeah, how weird is it? Tell me how weird my stomach
It's
is.
like scaring me.
Oh, no.
Don't worry, babe, I'll hold you, but you have to keep holding my stomach. You have to hold my weird, scary stomach.
Oh, what's that? Viewers are unsubscribing. Viewers are running away. They're
I want to feel inside you so I can figure out what the fuck is wrong with you.
Babe, I'll bottom for you to figure out what's going on in my cavity. Maddie, what I was gonna say.
I don't know why I did that. Sorry.
Dayquil drunk,
I'm like
baby.
getting
Dayquil
excited
drunk.
about what you're about to feed me. Like what? I can't wait to hear.
Maddie, what I was gonna say is you don't know this about Maddie. But Maddie and I were not exactly good friends when we started working together. We were
We're
more
mortal enemies.
we were
No, Ashley called me and was like, "Do you want to do the podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "We should get to know each other." We didn't know each other like at all.
really at all.
Yeah.
Our friendship has developed live
It
on
was
the
just
air.
a gut feeling, and also I didn't know who else was going to do this. So I hoped, and I thought, who is the most talented person that I know?
that needs
Yeah.
something.
And you were
Who's the
so
most talented person that
is available.
ain't got a lot going on?
You were so great.
Oh, thank you.
You were so great on your episode, and you did something that not a lot of people can do, which is you made a viral clip without being particularly famous. No offense or anything.
Oh,
very
none
hard to get
taken.
clips to go viral from a podcast, especially when the person is not a draw. No offense.
None taken.
Oh,
Right,
wow.
not a draw.
I'm seeing this as a challenge. Well, President Biden, I have a message for you. On the 12th of December,
Wow.
things will happen. I don't, is that, that seemed illegal. I think that was illegal. I just became anonymous.
We're-
Or V for Vendetta or something.
What I was going to say was so good. Sorry, the producers are saying you're not allowed to threaten the president.
Oh, no, not this again.
Only threatening him with a
What I was gonna
good
say
time.
I was going to give him a little kiss on the forehead.
There's been two. I'm trying to compliment Maddie.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
There was a moment where you got really good at podcasting. And then there was a moment where you like really came into your own. And now I feel that we've established really good chemistry.
Oh, let's go.
Don't you think,
I was
Alex?
worried you were going to say the moment has passed.
I feel
There was a moment there where you were doing pretty well, but you slipped up again and you're off the show.
I feel like we've got it now. We're making porn together.
Yeah.
We've made porn together on 2 episodes now. Grab my stomach.
Oh, you mean that we do have a riff now.
Now
where
we have a thing.
Yeah.
No, but now we have a rat-a-tat we had a rat-a-tat before, but now I think we have like a deeper rat-a-tat.
Oh, wow.
This is beautiful. Wait, I just learned the word sapphic recently.
You just learned that word?
I've just seen it a lot, and I've started to think about
No,
what
I
it
didn't know that
means.
till like 6 months ago.
I think this feels sapphic. Is that right?
I am sapphic.
Okay.
Maddie is also sapphic.
Am I? Okay, this is an interesting
Maybe I don't actually know what the word
Loving
means.
women.
Can you define?
Loving
But it means like women loving
anything
women.
women or woman adjacent.
I don't know that I've earned that label. I love dudes though. I hate to say it. I'm sorry.
Why?
Fucking.
How could How could I be more sapphic than you? Look at me.
Yeah, but you eat pussy.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
I love
You're
eating
working on
pussy.
it?
Yeah.
Building up to it.
We have to start the fucking episode.
Okay. Yeah.
We're in the apartment. We're having gay sex. We're having gay sex with Zach Zimmerman. I don't think I've said your fucking name. Buy his book, stupid. Get on my text alert, you piece of shit. AshleyGavin.com. I have a theater tour happening. Okay? Please go buy tickets. More than that, tell your friends. I got recognized literally 2 to 3 times every day in every city I was in, and none of those people knew that there was a show.
Wow.
Most of the people you know have seen me. So tell some friends. Please don't let the algorithm dictate my entire life. Just tell some fucking friends.
Are you okay? Do you need a napkin?
Yeah, I need a
You
napkin.
some tears?
Maddie, anything? Oh, and then as always, the hall monitor to keep me from getting canceled. Is it Weenie Day in the cafeteria? Looks like it is, because we got Maddie Wiener.
Hello. I'm Maddie Wiener. Are we doing introductions?
Yeah, I guess we are. I'm she, her, gay, white, cis. Go.
I'm Maddie Wiener. I use she, they, she pronouns. My gender, I just got like a fucked up gender. I threw it out in a ski accident. It's all over the place. I'm in recovery.
Total yard sale on the gender slopes.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the x-rays to get back, but we'll find out. But for now, yeah, she, they pronouns. And I'm a comic. And I'm on Instagram.
Yeah, Maddie T. Wiener.
Maddie T. Wiener.
Maddie to 30K.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Maddie to 30K.
That's a
Let's
good
go.
goal.
Thank you.
That should have. Wait, it just happened. The 30K
so crazy.
follower. That was really
That's
fast.
so
Huge news. My
crazy.
phone is smoking. I actually do. I have a Don't Tell set coming out soon. We did the taping together. Mine's going to be coming out probably sometime. It might be out by the time this episode comes out.
Yeah.
So that's really my biggest thing in my life. If you want to check that out, give it a share. That would
I'm
be
gonna watch that
awesome.
and comment
And
on
Maddie
it.
has a
Thank you.
podcast going on. We're going to do a whole episode dedicated to the podcast, but just a plug, Maddie
shucks.
has their own podcast and probably a Patreon.
We do have a Patreon.
Good.
We do have a Patreon. The podcast is called And How's That Working For You? It's me and my friend Kenyon Adamczyk, really funny comedian. We have very similar like neuroses, and we sort of just kind of do a mental health check-in and are lunatics for half an
Kenyon,
hour.
How non-binary name is that? I'm going to leave it there. Zach, do you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Zach Zimmerman, comedian. On gender questioning, hate he right now. So that's fun.
You said hate he?
I
Yeah,
did
I
not
really
know
don't
this.
like he.
Are you feeling more of a they?
I'm
Would
really
you
sorry
prefer
that I
they?
misgendered you.
Oh no, I don't think you have.
I'm sure of it.
No. And I'm not like out or anything, but just like and over the past 3 years, like the he hurts a little. I always like it when someone calls
He
me a
hurts.
person. He hurts. But they also feels a little weird too. So who knows? I like it when
What about
another
she?
queer person says she. I think that's really fun and
Zach,
playful.
you might be a woman.
I know. Is that's Oh, sounds exhausting.
That's gotta be such horrible news.
I know.
And I don't mean that. I don't mean that in a transphobic way.
So funny. You mean in a misogynistic way.
I mean that every queer person has, trans or gay or whatever. You have a moment of realizing that you are the way you are, and you're like, "Fuck, I have a lot of stuff I need to do."
It's so much work.
You just rack up this to-do list.
No, not a to-do.
You do.
No, this is fully what I'm like trying to write a bit about. It that I'm like, it would be so much easier to not like. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
But
I
unfortunately,
don't know. But also, I'm still figuring out. Who knows if I'm even, maybe I'm not non-binary. Maybe I'm just like a really cool girl. I don't know. Where's the line on that?
That's so pick me of you, Maddie.
I hope there's also a beauty to like never like it doesn't have to be fixed and it can alter. And
that's
change.
actually one of our most viral episodes with James Tyson, who is non-binary.
Yep. Very
talks about just like, what is the end goal even? Why does it even matter?
It's not like a puzzle that you're getting the exact right answer to. It's kind of like an essay that you're writing over time. And
I fucking love that because I've had fluctuations now where I'm like, wow, I do still feel like a woman in a lot of ways, in a deep connection to womanhood, but I also have all this like non-binary shit going on, and it's like almost equally as hard to retract that statement and be like, well, maybe it's the other way, as it was to say it in the first place. But
Jess Henderson on their episode was just sort of like, I'm never gonna not be a black woman. I'm
and
non-binary, but like being a black woman is such a huge part of my identity. It was really
such an interesting conversation. Yeah, but it's like I like the idea too that it's like language is sort of insufficient in that. The language is deeply important.
We should ourselves.
No, I don't mean because like I'm so deep that blah, 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 whatever. I just mean that like those words are helpful as like a tool to get you to people who think similarly or feel similarly, and a tool to like articulate your own thoughts. But once you're done using them, it's like scaffolding. And then once you get there, you don't have to be like beholden to them. They're just like a tool to get you to a place, and then you can just kind of like vibe. I'm more in the vibe era right now, where I don't know what the fuck it's called, but I'm wearing a big t-shirt and I'm having a good time, and I got a great pussy. Whatever that is.
And a fat ass commiserating.
Yeah, I've got a miserable fat ass.
Let's light a candle to all the fat asses out there. We're sorry you're not in my face. That's why I'm sad.
I don't know how much you want to talk about gender stuff, but it's one of my favorite topics of all time, and I would love to know where you're at.
Oh my God. I don't know.
No, you guys, I don't know. I mean, like, what I am
Sorry,
is
I don't mean to hijack
what
it.
I am is so boring in a way. I'm the gayest. I'm so gay, and I feel so good as a woman. It's like very... I've never I think that's why I'm like a little like probably the opposite of like the biphobic lesbian. Like I'm obsessed with bisexual people. And I think what's that?
Or I've been confiding in some gay men that I'm like attracted to women and trans women, and they're like, "Oh, I assumed everyone was like a little bi or pan or whatever." But like they're like, no, I only like other cis gay men, and so it's surprising. It's always surprising to me. Be like, oh, we're not all the same.
Yeah, no, we're not at all. It's so. I think it's so much harder in a way. Well, for a very long time, being so fucking gay that you couldn't not be gay, and you couldn't pass as bi or cis or whatever. Like that was a struggle because like. Back in the day, you could get killed over something like that. But today, in many places in America, being gay is like just, whatever. Yeah. And I feel way more for people who live more in the middles of the spectrums because it's so much harder to find yourself and to find people that really understand you, I think.
Yeah. Okay, wait, I have both of what you said.
And I'm so sorry. I don't know if I said anything problematic.
No, I mean, I think you added the necessary caveat of like, obviously there are still places where being like visibly queer is of course dangerous still, but there are also...
Roanoke.
Yeah.
Poor Roanoke. It might be progressive. I don't know.
But like...
I haven't been back.
I felt that too, where I was like, well, of course I'm straight. I just jerk off to Scarlett Johansson. Everyone jerks off to every straight woman. What are you, blind? And then you find out that people don't, and you're like, oh, that's called being attracted to a woman. But I was just like, who doesn't?
I have and always will. I love boobs so much. Oh my God, and I was always just like, oh, okay, men must like boobs. And it's like, no. Like, it's just, yeah. Always have. Dare I say always will.
Listener, are you listening to our Patreon exclusive You're Having Gay Sex? Well, here's a sneak peek of what you missed last week.
Maddie, I picked this one. I feel like you're going to dig this one in particular.
Hell yeah,
Perhaps. He looks me in the eye and says, my dream would be for a woman to tell me what to do and peg me. My brain is short-circuiting at this point.
Alex, you read me like a book.
I don't think he had to read you. You say this out loud.
You listen to me like a podcast.
There are 4 bonus episodes a month of this series, You're Having Gay Sex, on our Patreon at the $10 tier and then 2 at the $5 tier. Patreon.com/WHGS. Listener, one of the best ways to support this podcast is to come see me live, okay? It's a really great way to just support the whole team and everything that we do here. So get on my text list or my email list. It's international, both of them. AshleyGavin.com. Go sign up, and I'll literally text you when I'm in your area. So you don't have to hear all these plugs. You can skip right by them. Don't even worry about your city. Just get on one of those 2 things, and I will let you know, okay? Because there's a lot of cities coming, and I just remaking this announcement over and over again. We all think it's annoying. You do. I do. Get on the text list, you piece of shit. I love it. It actually feels like, because we've had straight men on the podcast, but you saying you love boobs feels gay.
Ooh, that's sapphic.
Yes.
Yeah. Am I affirming your gender right now? It feels very lesbian to hear you say that.
Ooh, that's exciting.
It feels gayer than when they say it. When Lucas says he loves boobs?
Oh,
Lucas Zelnick.
Yeah.
That's like when I say,
yeah. It's
I
like
love
disgusting.
boobs. Yeah. But when you say it, it's like unexpected and beautiful.
A thing that happened in the past few days, I saw some engagement photos of 2 cis gay men, and I was like, oh, I don't want that. Or I was like, that's not, I don't know what that means, but I was just like, oh, that's not the future. That's not my future.
Wow.
And so I was like, I don't know what that's about.
Do you have a sense of when you look at like boobs of like
this is a really important conversation that we're having right now. Let's talk about what we feel when we see boobs. Oh, I saw a new type of boob this weekend. Maybe oh my god, my story.
Wait, I was gonna ask,
where are we at time wise?
New boob unlocked.
35. That's what I was
Thank you. 35.
Do you feel a strong?
What's that? Okay. Yep. We're wrapping up boob talk. We're moving on. No more boob.
Never.
Lean into the boob.
Oh my God. That is the real gender fluidity, is the dance between theater kid and stage manager. Were you cast or crew? Baby, we were bopping back and forth. I could wear a big frilly dress or I could wear all black, but those are the 2. But I was going to say, when you see boobs...
I belonged on stage. I don't understand your plight.
I know, I also...
Sorry.
Oh, I loved being in like a musical and then going backstage and like building the fucking stairs and using the screwdriver. I was back and forth so hard.
I didn't want to lift anything except the spirits of the crowd with my performances.
When you see boobs, though, do you feel a strong sense of like wanting to be the pursuer or the pursued? Or is that almost a bad question to ask?
Yeah, when you see the boobs, are you like, I want the boobs on me? Are you doing the classically lesbian thing? Am I into her or do I want to be her?
I remember doing that with gay men, like seeing hot men in college. Like, do I want to be with you or look like you? And I think at that time the answer was both. I don't think I want breasts. I mean, I do have like pecs that are kind of the line between a pec and a breast feel like it can get a little blurry.
It can get blurry.
But I appreciate them as objects.
Women.
Oh, wow. Canceled.
I was literally about to make that exact same joke.
Do you love women? I more prefer their bodies.
I like to see them as a thing. A thing that I can use.
I don't like to pursue them so much as purchase them.
Your Honor. Wait,
exchange of goods and services.
I have strangely thought about exploring that side of things in a like sex work capacity, because then there's not the like emotional attachment
Very
or whatever.
smart.
That
I'm
is
just like,
really
oh, what
interesting.
would it be like this like porn star I've lusted after since I was 20 or whatever? Like, what would it look like to spend an evening together?
Yeah.
That is really
And then you
interesting.
can leave at any point without
Legally,
it feeling
just, you know, as a companion.
sex work is real work.
Yes, and
And I don't mean that in a making fun way, even though I said it with that voice. But yeah, that's actually really smart. And then also you can leave at any time without having to worry
oh yeah,
so much about like you could say upfront to this person,
Yep.
this is like a true experiment for me. Is that okay with you? Is that the type of work you'd want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Cancel in the middle at any time, which I'm sure they are accustomed to. And
You think people cancel in the middle?
I think people cancel
You don't
in the
get your
middle.
money back, I bet.
Nope.
No.
But I've had a similar fantasy of like with a woman where I'm like, I almost wish my first time could be someone who knows what the fuck they're doing. And I'm gonna, can I just sit down and you fuck me and I'll just watch,
Maddie?
and I'll take notes?
Grab my stomach.
You've never been with a cis woman?
No.
No, I
I've
think
only ever been
we
with
should
men.
get to the stories because I
Okay,
have
yeah,
questions
yeah,
for
yeah.
you about your week, Maddie.
Oh yeah.
Well, I had a fantastic weekend.
Oh,
My
right.
first ever theater tour.
It was huge. Seattle, Pacific Northwest, right?
Three cities.
All sold
9
out.
shows, all sold
You
out.
fucking killed it.
Unreal. The best experience of my life. The way that I yell at my audiences in clubs, they don't behave that way in a theater. They're perfect.
Oh, interesting.
My audience is literally perfect
Behave
in a
properly.
theater. They behave properly. They just know
And
what
that
to
makes
do.
a lot of sense to me that yeah.
And a lot of people are like, oh, it's in your head. No. When it was good, I let it be good. And it was great. and the top said it was good. And it was.
Do you think people just know how to behave in a theater and a
I think
comedy
my
club
audience
space
is because it's first time comedy for them. When they go to a club, it just feels so alien. And it's brighter and they have to see each other in a theater, and they get self-conscious about what they're allowed to laugh at because they're so sensitive. And I love you guys, but you are.
In a theater, it almost also feels like you're watching someone like on a. It's not like watching them on TV, but there is a little bit of distance where
Separation.
yeah.
They don't feel like they feel more anonymous. It's dark,
Which is
they're
kind
all
of how
facing forward.
Consumed your content so far too. As you watch someone on the internet, you're very anonymous.
Yes.
So then maybe that's more comfortable to have that relationship.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
And it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
fucking
One of the
awesome.
best weekends I've had in a long time. And I had a good weekend. Yeah, I had a great weekend.
That was so broy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just had a great time. I mean, it didn't go the way I thought it would go. In the show, I was talking to this mom. I found out that they're all ex-Mo, the whole family in the front row.
Ex-Mormon?
Ex-Mormon. Yeah.
I didn't know there was an abbreviation.
I found out because I've gone viral on Exmo TikTok a few times.
Hilarious.
X-Men.
I have a big Exmo fan base,
I thought you were
including-
pointing to a tattoo.
including
Got a big Exmo tramp stamp
I've got Brigham
That
Young.
would be incredible if you were fucking someone behind and they had a tramp stand that said ex-Mormon. That's really funny.
It says Mormon is just crossed out, or it's like covered over to say something else.
Yeah, but I've gone viral on ex-Mormon TikTok a couple times, so I have a lot of ex-Mormons. And the mom, I did a joke about the first time that I came, and a lot of the joke is about how late in life cis women come. People with vulvas come, and how early in life people with penises come. And there's like a lot to this joke. And she came up to me after the show, and on stage, she's like, "Can I tell you something?" I'm like, "Yeah." And this is like a MILF. She's like 60 something.
wow.
Yeah.
That's a gilf.
She's up there. Hot mom, hot gilf, whatever. She whispers, she puts her hand over my ear, and then the tip of her nose touched the top of my ear.
That's so hot.
That's
It
penetration.
It was the closest I've been to penetration. But yeah, and then she whispered in my ear that she was 38 the first time that she came. And she had her last child when she was 31.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She didn't come till after all the babies?
All the
came?
babies. All the babies came. And then she
she
came.
came.
Now, obviously, I was like, when a woman cups her hand over your ear and touches the tip of your nose to your ear, she wants to have sex with you, right?
It seems to be leaning that direction.
And
What's
Zach
that?
is that woman.
They'd like Maddie to lean in and
Well, then I was like, that's interesting. I'm going to see if I can pursue that. But I try to be very polite at these things. I don't want anyone to feel, I'm very polite. I never hit on people in front of other people. And I try to be very polite. I don't know.
because the power dynamic
is insane.
Yes.
It's so insane.
Yeah.
So you have to keep it private and very clear.
Yes.
Like, is this something you want to do? Like, should we hang out for a little bit beforehand? Like, you have to be very thoughtful. So I was like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to find her, but I'll find a way. But then,
wait, this is what I saw on your story.
Oh, this is your Instagram story. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Hey, somebody out there, you know who you are.
It's clicking for us.
I was like, there was a hot mom. I think you were trying, but it wasn't clear to me. Were you trying? And she DM'd me. Yeah. But here's the issue. Further on in the meet and greet, a nice woman hands me her card with her number on it.
And let me guess, she's maybe 20 years younger than the...
Fewer kids.
I was into the mom, Maddie. You missed the MILF arc. I had a big MILF arc. But
I'm aware of your MILF tendencies.
But this woman gave me her number.
On a card.
Like
a greeting card? Like a Hallmark card?
Actually,
or like
she's a
business
therapist.
Card? Oh, so you just were in need of help.
I was in need of help, and then what happened was I couldn't remember what she looked like. I couldn't find her online. She has no social media presence, which I think is good for a therapist. Couldn't find her. But the card had a code on it that I could scan, and it took me to her Psychology Today profile.
Someone hit on you with a QR code? That is dark.
Your audience really is autistic.
I appreciate a QR code. The data. So I looked at her Psychology Today profile.
What were her specialties?
She's
long walks on the beach.
Addiction, OCD,
conversion therapy.
She had this picture of her. This is so my type. Like, to give me your LinkedIn, your Psychology Today.
Very feminine blazer.
Feminine blazer. Yeah, so hot. And I saw that was the only picture I could find for her. I'm trying to remember what she looks like. I'm like, this girl, I'm in. I text her. We have very flirty banter. She's really smart, really funny. By the time the MILF gets back to me, I'm already in with the...
Oh, okay. So I miss when I gasped and said, is she 20 years younger? I thought you were going to say that her daughter started flirting with you.
No.
Okay, they're unrelated.
But the daughter of the MILF was like, I don't know whether to be proud or disturbed by this.
Oh my
story.
God.
And she was like, I'm going to choose to be proud.
She was at the show too?
Yeah, the whole family.
Wow.
Not the dad.
A family affair. Literally affair.
The dad's out of the picture. Just yeah, seriously.
No dad.
So yeah, and then I ended up hooking up with, this is a long story, so I'm not going to tell the whole thing. Maybe I'll do a part 2, but I ended up hooking up with the therapist. I have not had that good chemistry with someone off the bat in a very long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they listen. They're trained. They're trained to listen. To fuck a therapist. Oh my goodness.
It was so good. You know when sex is so good with someone that you don't know that well that you start thinking you might say something very dumb?
Like I love you.
Yeah, like I love you, or let's get married, or like just absolutely euphorically stupid shit. Like we should have children.
Aww.
Like I was so obsessed
I've
with her.
Been with a guy, and the third time we hooked up, it's so good. I'm like, get me pregnant. And I'm like, no. I haven't actually said that, but I've had that. I'm really like,
it's that kind of shit. It's that kind of shit. You couldn't possibly feel that way. It's not developed, but like your brain is like, you should marry this person. I mean, we were up literally all night. I have not had anything like that.
Wow.
But obviously outside my partner, who I love and adore, I'm in an open relationship, but like, and it was interesting to have those experiences now that I'm in an open relationship. Because every other hookup has been like, you're great. I never need to see you again. You're a thoughtful, lovely human being. I never need to see you again.
But you want to see the therapist again?
Yeah, and I well, I'll just say it. I was like, I had no idea that was going to happen going into the hookup. You know what I mean? And the way it made me feel, I was like, I think I need to have a conversation with Jen about what happened. Because like, I don't ever want her to think that she can't trust me. You know what I mean? So we sat down and we had this conversation, and I was like, this is the first. Jen has regulars. Jen has people that she sees. I've never hooked up with someone and thought I would like to see that person again. And also had feelings that I was like, oh my God, if I weren't with Jen, I would go on a date with this person. That was very difficult for me.
Wow.
I felt guilty. I felt really guilty that I had the feelings, even though I did not know that this would develop going into it. So what could I have possibly done?
Yeah.
So I told Jen, and I cried. I cried from the guilt. And Jen was like, I love you so much and I trust you. Like, I know you're not going to develop a relationship with somebody. Just like, of course there are people that you're going to like. Like, I'm not the only person on the planet. She was so mature and
That's so
understanding.
cool.
That's hot.
And through her understanding, I felt like I could see this person again and not develop feelings. Because like,
wow.
It just made me like treasure my relationship with Jen. Like, it made me like, oh my God, she like really just like loves me and trusts me. And like, you know what I mean? It feels like instead of the parent punishing you, they're like, I believe that you can do these things safely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, it was really.
And almost because they say that, there's no need to rebel. It's like.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
like,
proof of how special
you're
this relationship-
allowed to like connect with someone. And then also I know you have the mind to not like cross the line.
That's really cool.
It was super cool. And
Wow.
it made me more trusting of her. Because I was like, if that's the way she approaches these things, she's going to be responsible with my feelings. It was
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. And also, I don't think I ever want to be in a poly situation. Too much. Way too much for me. Too much
Poly
emotion.
versus open, the difference
Yeah, like
being
feelings and
multiple
relationships.
partners. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my gay sex from this week. But it was, yeah. Oh my God, the sex was just absolutely bananas, wild, insane.
Are you the top?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is. I don't know.
I bottomed a little bit, which I don't typically do. Oh my God. It was great.
I'm just thinking of fucking my therapist, who's like a very kind, jolly.
Oh, did I mention that it was my
50-year-old man.
therapist? Did I not say that?
No, you buried that lead.
Listener, this episode is brought to you by Green Chef. If you don't know Green Chef, they are the best meal kit around. And here's why it's so good and why I love using it. First of all, they've got something for everybody, right? I'm vegetarian. Maybe you're vegan. Maybe you're keto. No matter what you have going on, Green Chef has a recipe for you. And they're sustainable. They are the only meal kit that is both carbon and plastic offset. They offset 100% of their delivery emissions to your door, as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Plus, nearly all packaging materials are curbside recyclable in most areas of the U.S. And this is the critical part. It's convenient. It's easy. I'm a terrible chef, but I always have a phenomenal meal cooked when I'm done with my meal kit from Green Chef. I cannot cook to save my life, and yet somehow I'm making a delicious meal quick for me and my bae. So head on over to greenchef.com/gay60 and use code gay60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. That's greenchef.com/gay60 and use code gay60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well. Zach, did you have gay sex this week?
I'm in a dry spell. Like, I go through these periods of like monk, slut, and I feel
The
very
monk-slut dichotomy of man.
And I'm not a great slut. I've tried. If you hold my hand and suck my dick, I fall in love with you. That's like, I've learned to not do that. I'm getting better about it.
Sorry, I just like scream, but I've just never related to anything more in my life.
Yeah, right? So I've been very focused on book and like there was like a flirt in DC.
A flirt?
Yeah, it was a similar, like it was a fan, like, hey, let's get a drink. And I was like, oh, we got a drink. And then we took like a walk on the wharf in DC. And then I was like, oh, can I give you a kiss? And he's like, I would, but I have a partner. And I was like, you should have said that 2 hours ago. This feels like you just got a free
That's
meet
really
and greet.
not even I have an open relationship.
Oh, yeah,
That's
right.
totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you should disclose the open relationship as quickly as you can, comfortably. But to not even be in an open relationship and do that.
I've been burned by, I think you can do it kindly and nicely, but it's very challenging for me to.
Oh, for sure.
Because I do fall. I have like deep emotional connections to people.
I told this therapist in the text message. I was like, hey, here are the things you need to know. I'm in an open relationship.
Yep.
I try to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but I mean, I guess the two most recent things, is that fair? They've all been like disappointing. But I guess
you can tell whatever
disappointing.
story you want. And you spoke so much about your gender.
Okay.
We can continue that conversation.
I'll share just in Seattle, I hooked up with a guy.
Okay. Have you hooked up with women?
Yeah. Not, yeah. In high school and then college. And then recently. And then I hooked up with a trans woman in LA.
You can tell a story, but I also am like very interested to know about like your journey back to women. Because if you hooked up with someone, you identify as queer.
Yep.
But you were dating men primarily.
Yes.
So cis men primarily.
And and genderqueer people, I think.
But do you think like in high school hooking up with a woman, did that feel queer or does it have to feel queer? Do you see what I'm saying?
It's weird because I've sort of looked at that as like, I didn't know better, or that was some sort of mistake at the time. But I have been reclaiming that more like, no, I cared about those women and like enjoyed fooling around with them. And in middle school, I would like worship a different girl each year. I had like an unattainable crush. It was Brittany in 6th grade. 7th grade was, 8th grade was Rachel. Who was 7th grade? Kayla. 7th grade was Kayla. And so I always like liked a girl who didn't want anything to do with me and like just spent a year like lusting after her or like worshiping her and buying her presents and stuff.
Feels sapphic.
Feels sapphic. But the most recent encounter, some dude off Grindr in Seattle came over to my hotel and I was like, great. And so I'm of an age where, you pop a little Blue Chew to help things along, it's a Viagra for anybody. And then we just talked for an hour.
How old are you?
30.
But you still have the Viagra.
Yes, so I'm just like, very intensely. It felt like
Were you hard?
No. Or like getting there, I was just like, okay, we're just going to talk. It's when I take like a Klonopin before a flight and then the flight gets canceled and I just have a very mellow day
Or
in the lounge.
Dayquil before a podcast.
Dayquil before a podcast. But he was weird because we then hung out again. I was there for like a book association event and we also just like made out and stuff. And I was like, I don't think you actually like me that much. But you're saying yes to hanging out. That's been a new era of interactions. I was like,
you don't think these people like you?
Or, no.
Zach, I think you're great, but how famous do you have to be for that? Feels like we both have to be a lot more famous.
For someone to just want
to hang out?
Or I think we're great company, maybe.
We're good company. We're funny.
Yeah, maybe that's the vibe. Like, I want to be this person's friend, but I guess if we
You
have
look
to
adorable
kiss a
today.
little.
Thank you.
You really do. It's a great flannel.
Thank you so
hair's
much. It's
on
my
point.
dad's.
Maybe it's the rosy hue from the sweat.
I am boiling.
Same.
It is hot in
Well,
here.
and I would just think it's
Or am I suffering for all eternity for the sins I committed on earth? Available now everywhere books are sold.
And the audiobook.
I hooked up with a
Zach Zimmerman.
trans woman sex worker in LA and we just like hung out and or we hooked up and then the next day I did like check her rates to see what kind of a deal I had gotten. And it was a pretty good deal. Oh. I love a deal.
She gave you a good deal.
I got a great deal. I mean, I bought.
How did you? Okay, for anyone listening who maybe wants to experiment,
yeah,
and is thinking about doing what you've done, maybe hooking up with someone, a sex worker, to try and make it feel a little safer in a way. Than to like put yourself out there emotionally. Do you have any pro tips?
Oh my goodness, no.
I wouldn't even know.
I could like pretend to make them up, but I feel like.
But like, I wouldn't even know how. Like, I wouldn't even know the website to go to.
Google,
what app is that?
Google.com.
Google.com?
Google.com. It's just everything is Google.com. Chat GPT. Be like, how do I fuck someone for money, for free? No, what am I even saying? I feel like we're entering a time when people can hopefully, where your identity and your behavior can be different and explore and have lots of fun with lots of different people. I hope
so too.
Like that's just more, yeah.
There's like I was kind of visualizing it as like, you know how, this is like the nerdiest way to think about it, but you know how like if you have a square and there's like each, there's 4 points and you keep adding points, eventually it becomes an octagon and a blah, 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 and a blah, blah, blah. And when you're at 999,000 points, it's almost a circle. And I almost feel like we're getting to a point where like, rather than try to exactly calculate every point, just be like, it's infinite points and it's just a circle.
No, I'm gay.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm gay, dude.
I don't mean to like. I'm not
a
saying
triangle,
like,
brother.
I'm not saying like enough with these labels. I just mean like for me, I'm like I could I could keep dissecting while I'm gender fluid and still identify with being a woman sexually and I'm non-binary, blah blah. But for me personally, I'm like I'd rather just be like vibing because I kind of get. I'm like I'd rather just be a little loosey goosey with it.
I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong with the sex worker thing?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, I don't fuck that much, so I'm not the person to ask.
Why don't I hit up some of my sex worker friends and I'll find out?
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that could be useful for some people.
Oh, like it. Yeah. Because that can awaken stuff. That was probably a moment for me. I haven't hooked up with a woman in a long time. And so I was like, this is like activating something. Like,
I feel like if I hooked up with a man, I'd want to hire a guy.
Oh,
because like, first of all, I'd make him sign an NDA.
Stormy Daniels, get over here.
Yeah. Because like, if I hooked up with a guy, I'd need to pay someone because I couldn't, in good faith, bring a guy over here, stare at him for half an hour, and then be like,
Would your fans rebel?
I know what you mean.
Would they be like, what the fuck, Ashley?
I think some of them would. And I think others would be like, you can be a lesbian and also fuck whoever you want.
Does the idea of like topping a guy or doming a guy turn you on at all?
No.
Or would you want to be dominated?
No, I actually feel like pegging a guy would be so I don't like the male body. Sorry. The idea of a guy's asshole is like...
But shaven.
No.
Well shaved,
bro.
well kept.
I don't
Pink.
I don't want anyone to hear this and take it any other way than at face value. That like a cis guy is just... It's just... I can't like... You know what I mean?
No problem. Send them my way.
The idea of a man's asshole near my...
You're talking about a cis man
near
now.
me, yeah. No.
But aren't all... I mean, the asshole is pretty...
Nope.
No,
I can't
it's different?
explain it to you.
A cis woman's asshole is different than a cis man's asshole? Foundationally?
For me...
Can we set up a Gloriole situation where you're like...
you know what?
Try to pick him out of a lineup?
Put me to the test.
Yes, I don't know if you can. I think there's some pretty amazing
sure,
twink hole out there that will delight and surprise you.
I'm sure it's actually more like the pheromones.
Oh,
really.
yeah.
At the end of the day.
Gotcha,
I think that's
gotcha.
probably what it is. I mean, I don't know. Right in. I hope I'm not saying anything offensive, but like I want to be able to be real and raw and honest on this
Actually,
podcast.
if you don't eat out a dude's ass right now, you're canceled. Yes.
My comedy special, my hour-long comedy special is out. It's on my YouTube. Just go over there, watch it. Watching it completely really, really helps. And share with a friend if you like it. Leave a comment. Go watch my special. Get some friends over. Turn it on every phone. Turn it on every computer. Break into your straight neighbor's house. Ruin their algorithm by watching the special. It's 9 years of my work culminated to this point. If you love this podcast, honestly, the special is way funnier. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say that. It's just way funnier. It would mean a lot to me if you watched it. It's free. It's on YouTube. But thanks, guys. Thank you for your support. It was made possible by our Patreon, patreon.com/WHGS. But mostly, my fucking special is on YouTube. Go watch it, you piece of shit.
I think people, for the longest time, latched on to identity, like protect them from exploring different parts of their desire. Like, oh, I'm a straight man.
Yes.
So I'm feeling kind of attracted to Johnny. But no, I'm a straight man. Like,
right.
People are cutting themselves off because there was social stigma, or your status would shift, or you'd get made fun of, or it was persecuted. Like, but now hopefully, like, you can explore those and you're not going to be made fun of the next day, or like, I don't know.
And there's always a way to do this stuff with kindness.
Oh yeah, like, hey, I'm really like I feel like we have a connection. I don't know if it's romantic, sexual.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like a vibe towards you.
Yeah. And I feel like identity should be a byproduct of experiences and not the other way around.
Woo!
Maddie, what the fuck?
Put that on a tattoo or
Maddie,
a
what
t-shirt.
the
Will you say it again?
What the actual
I haven't
fuck?
eaten pussy, but I can fucking write, bitch.
Zero praxis, all theory. Maddie's saving the day right here.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You're a
Zero practice, all theory is exactly it. I'm the type of queer that you can be alone in your room. It's
You're a theoretical lesbian.
Never touched a human, but my journal is full.
You're Schrodinger's lesbian, really. There's pussy in a box.
Yes.
oh my god.
It's my pussy in a box.
yeah, you don't
and
know
it's
if I'm
dead
you
and
don't know if I'm
alive.
gay until you open my pussy and see if there's cum inside, and then
I'm dripping sweat. I am covered in moisture.
Well, that was beautiful. We should probably go to Maddie.
yeah. Okay, wait.
Thank you for. I know it wasn't much of a
Oh,
story,
yeah, no, it's
but
a
like,
stew of a tale.
but we got a
But
lot
I
at the
also
beginning.
have sex with people if anybody wants to have sex.
Do you want me to do that? You know my power.
You could send them my way.
I could send them.
If people are finding the current sweaty state of my Dayquil drunk self attractive in
look
any
great
way,
right now.
Slide into
then,
Zach
like,
DMs, do it.
let's hang out.
Z,
Let's-
double Z?
I will quiz you on the book. You have to have the book memorized before I kiss you. No, I'm just kidding.
What's your handle?
ZZ, then the word double, and then ZZ.
ZZ double ZZ.
And
Is
I'm-
it an underscore or is it just ZZ double ZZ?
ZZ, the word double, ZZ, no underscores. It's an awful handle.
And while you're there,
Zach
watch
Zimmerman.
Zach stand up because Zach's like the funniest
Yeah,
person.
Zach's
sorry,
really
guy.
funny. And he's
No.
done Sunday school. Excuse me, she's done Sunday school a number of times.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound right.
All right, fucking. I'm canceled. I'm misgendering Zach.
You can't she.
Why?
I don't know. It felt wrong.
Because I'm not a gay man.
I think so. Give me a they.
They've done Sunday school.
Oh, it's closer. How about a Z? Can I try a Z?
I'm not doing that.
You won't do a Z?
Z's
I
done
like
Sunday
Z because
school.
it's Zach, so it's like,
Oh, that's nice.
What's up,
the
Zach?
the Zers in the comments are like, Ashley,
How dare.
mean. There's too many words. We should, you know what we should do?
I
Should go like the Chinese language.
Yeah.
There's only one pronoun.
Oh, that saves
honestly,
a lot of
and
problems.
if someone who's not in
You hear that, Fox News? Everyone's a they, them now.
in China. So if you were talking to someone who happens to be from another country who maybe only has one type of pronoun, they might not be misgendering you. They might not speak. They might just be making an error. Intersectionality is very difficult. Okay, so. But in China, they only have the one. What?
I like that Ashley's squirming a little.
Oh,
this is
it's so
kind of
funny.
weird.
I am not
kinda
squirming.
I'm getting a little squirm.
I'm pushing the boundaries. No one wants to talk about these things. No one wants to talk about what you do in some of these scenarios.
I had a Zeezer riff that we have to cut. Like I'm telling you ahead, there's no way this can stay in, but I
It's
want to tell it just to
staying
make you
in. I
guys
want
laugh.
it.
Is that everyone's like, oh, neo pronouns are so hard, and it's like, well, you only have to type them. They don't go outside. Like it's not like you have to
Keep it.
say it ever.
Keep it.
No, that's
so
mean.
good.
That's
No,
mean,
so
and
good.
I will respect.
That's so good. That's
the
so
theory,
good.
theory queen.
Will
They're
people with
gonna laugh
neo
at
will
that.
they think that's funny?
Zeezer
Because
will.
if you are listening, I
Zell-
hope that like
they'll-
I'm saying it with love. It's supposed to be a joke.
They'll laugh at that.
Okay, because I
thought
do.
that was good.
Zell
I have
laughed at
nothing
that.
against neo pronouns. Hopefully that was a funny joke. I mean, I know it's a funny joke.
It's a
Hopefully it
funny
wasn't a
joke.
mean joke.
It
Do you want
wasn't.
to know the darkest, weird, twisted thing? I've thought of using my pronoun as the divine light within us all, completely earnestly, but I know it'll be seen as a joke. But I think would be very funny.
I am so for though.
I know you will hate it, but it's kind of
I'm worried
beautiful.
that you want it earnestly.
No, I'm so for like
you
gender
want, you want
performance
all
art.
of us to be the divine. I was hanging out with.
or just use my I was
with-
the
with-
divine light within us all is so much fun.
That's so
Isn't that
awesome.
awful,
We're
though?
like the public universal friend.
Ooh,
Are you aware of this
what's that?
person? They were some like Quaker in like the 1800s or something. non-binary. They went by the public universal friend, and they were just like
They
a
are my
lovely,
biggest fan. They're a patron.
Oh my
actually.
god, it's that was my like past like it's
Were they
look up the
were they
public universal
asexual?
friend on I don't know.
Feels asexual.
It was very like orb.
It kind of gets at
Yeah, my point exactly.
we're like using, I don't know if this is fair or true or anything, but we're, like gender, we're using that as like our main form of expression, but it can just be that person was expressing their function in humanity and the world at a bigger level than just gender.
Guys,
but like
I think
gender was the
actually
way in.
I think I actually have to go now.
Like it's not like I'm a man or I'm non-binary or I'm a woman. It's like I'm the universal friend. That feels like next order.
Yes.
And that's actually what we're kind of getting at with gender expression. It's like, we're allowed to identify as an artist or I don't know. Now I'm rambling.
Yeah.
Or a villain or like there's another level different than gender.
100%.
Archetype maybe.
Yeah.
Ashley hates us.
I love this.
We're
I love
taking
this
over.
so much.
Take our
But
mic.
you can be those things and be gendered.
Right.
Can
You have
be
to. You have to. Right.
Yes,
Right.
but in the place of where gender is, you could have something else.
Okay.
It's
because culturally, gender was so, or I don't know, it was like the most important thing. Or we've built a system that persecutes.
There's a whole system, but I feel like we're moving past that system now, today.
Yeah.
well, that's how I feel too. I'm like, gender is like, it's such a, I want it to be such a like 20th thing on the list adjective of me. It's like not even the central thing. I'm more of a comic than I am a woman or non-binary.
See, I don't feel that way. I am, maybe I'm not as hip as you guys are, as next level universal friend as you guys are, but my comic identity is so tied to my identity as a woman because of the way I'm perceived on stage. It cannot be, they cannot be untwisted. And I'm not ashamed of that.
I feel like
it
a
doesn't
woman
make me a turf.
I feel like a woman when I fuck
Next
a guy.
week, JK's on the couch. We're getting to the bottom of this once and for all.
Okay, well, I was going to ask you, but I think we're out of time.
We're out of time. This was my, and that I cannot express how much you nailed it. I am all theory, no praxis. I have not fucked anyone. Not
But
ever.
you
I've
do
fucked people.
have a story that we have to talk about.
We do.
soon.
But I had a hot take this week. I had a hot take on the identities.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying that was my contribution.
That was
That was
the
Maddie's
story. We
sharing
had the
core
hot
this
take.
week.
Yeah.
I'll have to listen next week to get
I
this
thought I was
story.
being vulnerable by being like, hey, I want to talk about how we have conversations around like sex when you get to the point when you're a cis person dating a trans person. What are those conversations like? I want to have them on the podcast. But then you guys were like, we are alien souls. And God no, you actually took Scientology and made it queer.
Dianetics made some points. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't read that book.
I love Scientology. I think it's hilarious. I love cults. Okay, so the book is called "Is It Hot in Here?" Or oh my God, this was your
Squirm.
real. Is it hot in here? I can't do it.
Or am I suffering for all eternity for the sins I committed on earth?
Buy the book, buy the audiobook, go follow Zach, ZZ on Instagram
It's true. And TikTok.
and TikTok. Great
And
comedian.
Twitter. And Grindr.
Buy the book. Maddie, anything you want to plug?
I'm on Instagram and I'm on YouTube, and check out my the podcast I have with my friend Kenyon called "And How's That Working for You?" It's all on my Instagram. Everything's on my Instagram.
And we have so much bonus content about to go up. I've been, because of the special, I've been a little bit lax, but we've got the fourth show with Ashanti. If you know about the special going up there, we've got the Austin stuff. We've got all those bonus episodes. So many bonus episodes for you guys. So patreon.com/WHGS, my live stream show, Sunday school, all kinds of good stuff. Oh, and see me on tour, you piece of shit. Come on, what are we doing here? There's 900 lesbians in a room. Thanks for listening, guys. Patreon.com/WHGS to support all the people on this team and this podcast, which would not exist on ads alone. And you can donate as little as $1. As little as $1, Bottom. Come on, Bottom. Come, be a good Bottom. Be a good Bottom. Go on, little Bottom. Come on, you little Bottom. Just go over. Just go on over to patreon.com/WHGS. Okay. And my gay thought this week Maddie, do you have any gay thoughts? What if we did like a Meisner? What if we did like an improv thing? Like
Okay.
we picked a word and then we found the gay thought like in the word.
We say words back and forth until we end up on the same word.
On the same word or the same gay thought.
Okay.
Okay.
Kristen Stewart.
I'm so sorry. Vampire.
Robert Pattinson.
Abusive.
Suki Waterhouse.
Ooh.
Pretty blonde woman.
Nice.
Pretty blonde woman.
What? I don't get this game.
The game is you start with two different words and you ping pong back and forth until you approach the same word.
But
So you try to find
but
something.
I said nice. And then you said pretty blonde woman.
I thought
again.
we had settled on that was our gay thought.
Oh.
Let's try this again.
Yes.
What game did you think we were playing?
I thought it was that game, but then you repeated the word back, so I said nice
Meisner,
like
where we
no,
okay.
I'm we're in the agreement, but I said nice like pretty blonde woman like
Nice.
nice.
Is that the gay thought?
I don't know.
I think what we're learning is gay people can't think sometimes.
Gay people cannot think.
Gay people have no inner monologue.
Do we want to try it again?
Yes.
Okay,
Do you want to start?
I'll start. I'll go with sunshine. What?
Ew.
Vulnerability.
Shame.
Mom.
Issues.
Mommy issues. That's the gay thought. That was good.
That was good.
Yeah.